Ugh. Oh, God. Good evening, everyone. Um, Unsurprisingly, there's been an uptick in violent crimes in New York subways. What a surprise. Not fucking really. So, apparently, there's something called a women's caucus. Who knows what all that's about? Most likely something in support of women, whatever. They come out and they say, "We are deeply disturbed and concerned about the widespread reports of attacks against women in New York City that have been confirmed by the NYPD. We're calling out on the NYPD for an immediate and comprehensive investigation into these incidents with transparent updates to the public." Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a fucking surprise. Last I checked, the fucking United States National Guard, whatever, New York National Guard or something or other, is literally activated in the subway of New York right now because the police have zero control over any crime happening in New York right now. Not to mention that even if there was a crime committed, that they're just booking and releasing people for crimes like, oh, let me think about beating police officers, being an illegal immigrant, things that usually get you tossed in jail for a little while. They're just throwing you back out onto the streets. And we wonder why there's an uptick in violent crimes. Probably because the fucking criminals know there's not going to be any repercussions. Duh. Okay, so the story gets a little bit more in depth with one of New York's finest, biggest, and brightest politicians coming out. Council member Amanda Farias. Genius. Very smart person. Undoubtedly one of the smarter people in New York. I say facetiously. Why are men not calling this out? She quotes on Twitter. There's just literally nothing to say. Why are men not calling this out? Are you fucking stupid? Within the last 12 months, a Marine Corps veteran who acted in a New York subway to protect innocent civilians against a violent drug addict criminal has been charged with attempted murder and murder in the first degree for trying to step in and protect innocent civilians from violent criminals. So what happens in New York? The violent criminals get booked and released back onto the streets so they can continue their reign of terror. And the law-abiding citizens, American veterans like Daniel Penny, are thrown in jail. And of course he has a bond. Of course his family has to raise bail. Of course. Why wouldn't they? The violent criminals, no. You're free to go. Beat a police officer. We'll see you next time, bud. American veteran protecting innocent civilians from violent drug addict criminals? Oh no. We're going to need a $100,000 bail bond for you. And then you're going to be charged with attempted murder and murder for trying to save the American taxpayers a little bit of money and doing what needs to be done. And obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in New York. This women caucus, they're reaching out and they're voicing their opinions. And they're saying, hey, there's violence against women happening in New York. Well, no shit. Because morons like council member Amanda Farias are on Twitter asking why aren't men doing more to protect women? Why aren't men calling this out, she says. Well, probably because the men that have fucking called this shit out have gotten sent straight to fucking jail. And the men who are committing these violent crimes, if we can even call them men, are getting booked and released from jail on $0 bail back to their terror reign of the city. It's sickening. It's absolutely horrendous. It's hypocritical. I just really don't have any words. And this just goes to show how far away from reality these politicians live. Their existence is not in the same fucking realm that ours is. It's so fucking far away from the reality that we fucking live in that they make comments on things that they don't even know they've not supported in the past. I guarantee this moron councilwoman was in support of Daniel Penny being arrested and thrown in jail. And now, less than 6 months later, she's on Twitter wondering why men in New York City aren't doing more to stand up for women in the face of men enacting violent crimes. Wow. What a fucking surprise. I mean, I can't say I'm really fucking surprised. These people are morons. They don't care about you. They don't even know half the time what they are in support of themselves. They don't know which donors they're taking money from that week. They don't know what bills they've supported and gotten passed or thrown into a ditch. They don't know. The only thing they do know is what the latest envelope with a big stack of money in it was telling them to do or support. Perhaps women's rights in New York City. Perhaps the women's rights organizations are saying, hey, well, maybe the only way for us to get support is if we go bribe these politicians ourselves. I mean, holy fuck. Maybe that's a outcome. Maybe that's a solution to this problem. Maybe the good people of America should start scraping together their money and bribing the politicians to do the right thing. Oh, the irony. If things like this continue happening in the United States, I mean, that among the laundry list of problems that are happening in not only New York City, but I mean, that's definitely an epicenter of problems that we have in this country, but all over the country, if things like this keep happening, people are going to lose hope. And when Americans lose hope, it's going to be dangerous.